Hi, friends. It's day 3 of the Transformation SparkOff, and today I want to talk about owning your food supply. So, there are 3 parts that I want to really cover today. The first one is the actual acquisition or procurement of the food that you eat, the second is the preparation, and then the third is the way or um, the times or how you eat it. So let's begin at the beginning. So when we talk about acquiring the food, there are 3 things that my life experience has taught me. From the age of 13, I have been on some sort of diet or in the quest of looking for a way to eat that could keep me healthy uh, and manage my weight and give me the energy that I need. And there isn't really any single food system that I haven't studied or experimented with. I am a vegetarian and I have been a vegetarian all my life. So, of course, that's a restraint. I haven't experimented with any animal product based diets. My work or my experimentation in my life has been limited to vegetarian diets. However, I want to take the bold courage of saying that whatever I have learned could easily adapt for those who eat um, meat and fish and other animal products too. Yeah, so let me get started. There are 3 things that I want to talk to you about procurement of food. Now, the 3 things that I measure for myself and I feel really would make a difference for you too. The first one is, does the food come in a packet? So that to me is a big warning sign. So even if it is, these days people are buying vegetables that are cut up in the grocery store or at the market, and it comes in a package, and that straight away is a warning sign. Is it possible to procure food that does not come packaged in styrofoam or plastic or paper, is just available whole, and you can just pick it up off a counter or wherever is being sold and put into your bag? So that's the first metric. The second metric is how far has that food traveled? So I live in India, and suddenly it seems like the only apples we can buy in most places are Washington red apples. Now that's fantastic if you live in Washington state, which is on the west coast of the United States. Were I to eat those apples in where I live, literally that apple has traveled almost 8,000, 9,000 miles. And so my measure always is, if 80 to 90% of the food you consume has not traveled more than a few kilometers to get to you. So from the place where it was grown or planted, how long has it traveled? So that's the second metric. And the third thing is, has it come, is this food something that's found in nature, or was it made in a factory? So you would say to me, hey, listen, peanut butter or almond butter or oils are made in, are processed. And my life's experience is that the more you travel away from food that comes straight away from nature, so like an apple or a banana, all the way to something that, let's say, Kellogg cereal, if that's the scale. So the closer you get to, the farther away that you get, the quantity of that food that you want to consume needs to proportionately reduce. So if you are having, you are having peanut butter or olive oil, or in proportion to everything that you consume in the day, that needs to be a small percentage. And then as you get close to very factory made food, maybe it's possible to eliminate those foods completely. Again, the idea of this transformation SparkOff is not to give you some rules or to give you do's and don'ts, because I think all of us have a lot of this in our life already. It's more actually about giving you some ideas to start experimenting with in your own life. So just play with it. See what's working with you and see if 80% of your plate is really filled with items that are procured locally, don't come in a packet, and are available in nature. So they are whole foods. And see how your body feels when you eat those foods vis-a-vis the other options. And then you can slowly begin to experiment and change your combinations to fit you. There is no right answer for everybody. Everybody is a different bio-individual, and it's really nice for you to experiment and find the balance that you need. So that's the procurement of food. Is it in a packet? How far has it traveled? And is it a whole food, or how far on the processing line has it traveled? So those are the three metrics. So the second piece is the preparation of food. So I hear lots and lots of people now talking more about either bringing food that has been pre-prepared. Of course, where I live, a lot of people have help coming and cooking for them. And it's also possible now in most countries to get meal services delivered to you. My own life experience, and I started working when I was 21. So I have spent many, many, many years eating in hotels, at airport lounges, takeaway, and had on speed dial various restaurants in my neighborhood for years. My invitation to you is, having borne the experience of eating that food on an ongoing basis for many years, and then the consequences of the same, my invitation to you is to really see what is possible in owning the preparation process. So for a lot of people, it is possible to batch cook. I see it more and more with my own clients when I coach them, and even for my own life, that I identify a day of the week where I bulk cook at least base elements, and so that on an ongoing basis, I just need about 35 or 40 minutes to put together meals for the household, for breakfast and for lunch and for dinner. And also to, the other thing, of course, is really using technology. So using apps, recipe planners, so that you have a stock pantry, you have ingredients that will allow you to be able to prepare a meal on short notice. It's really difficult to do that when you have nothing in the fridge or nothing in the pantry. Yeah, and so there are many, many, many recommendations that you can find when you Google it. I personally don't recommend anything that's cookie cutter. This is where I am really inviting you to say, make it a priority, do the hard work, sit down. If there are multiple people in your household, sit down together and decide for the week what you'd like to eat. And then see if you can minimize the number of times that you're calling for takeout or stopping at a drive-through or eating out. So if you count for 21 meals in the week, maybe a good goal would be to say that in 10% segments, we're going to start to decrease the number of meals that we consume that are not prepared by us. And again, the whole purpose of the Transformation SparkOff is to be a place of no judgment, no expectation, no shame, no blame. So when you are in a moment in life where time is of essence, you have young children, you have pets, you have a demanding job, and this is not possible, then that's perfectly okay. The idea is to see what is possible and to move from wherever you are to 2 steps closer to where you would like to be. So the second piece was preparing your food. And then the third thing, of course, when we talk about owning the food cycle, is how we eat it. I see people eating in cars. And then the third thing is actually about consuming the food, so how you eat it. So I see lots of people walking and eating, driving and eating, so eating in their car. And some things that I am guilty of often, and I have to catch myself, is eating as I am answering an email or being distracted somehow with my phone, incoming message, whatever technology distraction, television, eating in front of the television. So whatever that might be, again, here is an opportunity to see how it feels when you sit down, bring all your food together that you plan to eat, and eat without interruption, if possible, in conversation with friends or family or with somebody, if not, just by yourself, to take those 15, 20, 25 minutes to just eat and not be distracted by anything else. Again, see how that feels. So those are the three pieces: the procurement of food, the preparation of food, and then how you eat it. I want to tie it together. What is the connection to being on a journey of transformation? My own experience says that when you begin to own your food cycle, the way you respond to life emotionally shifts. Food plays a big part in how you feel. So the number one indicator is energy. When you eat more whole, fresh food, food that has been prepared by a person that has care and positive thoughts and is eaten calmly, peacefully, that food, when it enters your body, creates a response, creates energy, creates the ability for you to then go on and assimilate that food faster and contribute to your wellness. Food that is prepared, either quickly or with ingredients that are not fresh, that are microwaved, that are maybe processed and multiple levels of processing and eaten on the run, then also enters your body with that same hectic energy and creates a sense of exhaustion, brings your energy down, so you really get a spike and then you kind of tend to crash. So your ability to do the things you want to do, live the life you want to do, play the sports, be available to your children, to your parents, to your spouse, to your work, gets proportionately impacted by the food cycle, the procurement, the preparation, and the way you consume your food. So the practice for today is very simple. You have the option of looking at one of the three areas, just for today. And then over the next days of the transformation SparkOff, maybe all three. So see if procurement is the area that you want to focus on, is it possible to include more whole foods into your diet, into your meal prep? So say for now, if you're using 10 ingredients and 6 of them are coming out of a packet, can we shift that to 5 or 4 or 3 and so on? Second, with preparation. So were you, right now, if your choice was to call a restaurant and order food in, is it possible to scale back one step and say, okay, I'm going to get a pre-packaged gravy, but then I'm going to cut some vegetables and make a sauce, so at least it's semi-processed. And then the next step would be to make the sauce and the vegetables, and that would be maybe a whole meal that you have prepared for yourself. With consumption, again, what is possible? Is it possible to sit down, have your plate ready, and eat without distraction for 10, 15, 20 minutes, really focusing not just on your food and the pleasure of eating that food? So the practice is to try that maybe with one meal all 3 meals, whatever is possible for you. My invitation to you is choose the meal where you have the most leisure. So maybe if you go into a work day, then breakfast is not the meal that you want to start the shift with. Maybe it's easier for you to start the shift with lunch or dinner where there is more space for you to organize things. So over the next 24 hours, your first takeaway is that you are going to experiment with a shift in procuring, consuming. So procuring, preparing, consuming, closer to where you want to be well, to be available to a higher energy level. And then the second takeaway, always bring your journal out. Now you have 3 practices, and sit down, take a few moments, reflect, and see how your body has felt having had all 3 practices in the day. Yeah. Now you probably are starting to have some questions. Feel free to message me, leave a note here where you're watching the video on YouTube, or email. You have my contact information at the end of every video, and I'm happy to respond to you as quickly as I can so that you get the advantage of the response within the SparkOff. Enjoy, and I'll see you tomorrow.